So good morning, everyone. Florence here for a part 3 on the moving meditation. And so if you notice, the first block is, although it's a longer block, is very simple and straightforward with one wave, I feel like saying, a wave of movement that leads you to a point, and then you return to your point of origin where we started. And you might feel that the wave you're traveling on the way back is of a different nature, or at least a different frequency as you do on the way out. So pay attention to that because it is connected to your breath, because we're moving with breath in moving meditation. And what's interesting to see actually, what is it that I wanted to say that came up? That those two waves will, of course, they will impact one another, but they also may change throughout the session as you grow more in depth with them, or not. You'll see. But keep an eye on the wave of frequency through which you're moving. Often, I have, from time to time, I have a class where I'm talking about those spiral and wavy movements, which very often we have through the arms, through the coming forward and back in the vertical. So think about these as you move, okay? And the second, yesterday, we went to add on at the end of that first core of moving meditation, something that was more into the terms of strengthening, more powerful, okay? And today we're going to keep adding on, and what I feel is getting is very simple, but it will be affecting the top, the front of the meditation, okay? So we are going to go pretty much straight away into it. I just don't have that much, we don't have that much time in the morning. And we're just going to go on up and down onto our heel. The heel comes off and on. Your toes are really nice widespread. You can do it with your hands. Have your hands mirroring your feet. It's a really great practice. It's a fabulous hand-feet coordination, and it's quite supportive. And then have your heel, one heel up, one heel down. So the deep connection to the mother is through the toes and the ball of the feet. And that is not being released whatsoever. Feel how it's creating real power and a real strength in the legs, and how this travels into your axial trunk. Okay, so how two sources, because that's pretty much what we're made of, how two become one. Okay, how two become one. Okay, so that's why this is the axial, this is really the core, the center. All of our organs, vital organs, and all our processes, most of them anyway, are built up within that part of us. And this is pretty much an option. And yes, it's super important for locomotion, for expression, and much more. Okay, open the legs nice and wide. Same work. Same work. So building up here the inner thigh, okay? Don't compromise with your postural alignment. So be aware of your postural alignment. And notice how you want to travel side to side into that movement. Invite the pelvic floor as a seal, as an organic seal. Okay. And that is a very supportive of the axial trunk. All of this is happening as we do the moving meditation. Okay, and all of this is happening every day and every minute of our lives when we become aware of it and activate them. Okay, and go a little bit further. Same movement. Brilliant. Okay, inhale up, look up, and exhaling, circling the arms down, and circling up. Good. Couple more. And release soon. We're going to release here. Keep going with the movement. Keep your heel down the floor. And we're just going to focus on our breath. Taking one intake of breath to travel one side, the outtake to travel to the other side. And this time around, instead of having that up and down where we bounce, just travel across. The length of your inhale, pause it. The length of your exhale, pause it. Good. So to warm us up a little bit more, we're going to take our arms and just put them in the cactus pose. And choose on the inhale to close them, and on the exhale to reopen them. So moving meditation here would have you to move and open or close all at once. There is a synchronicity happening here. And that's where the moving meditation, the power of it lies in the awareness of breath and movement and attuning my arms, so my upper half to my lower half, and the whole of it to my breath. And you could add on your eyes. You could decide I inhale and I close my eyes. On the exhale, as I travel across, as I open my arms, I open my eyes. So play with this. Beautiful. Last time. Beautiful. And release everything. Come back to center. Bring yourself up to the mountain pose. realign along that axial body with your hips nice and closed. Standing on your 2 feet on equal balance. Good. And dropping all effort. Right, and we're going to go and move on into what we've been doing for the last session. So finding first your child pose. And from the child pose, we went to a half upward salute. We drop the right arm. Inhale, we reach. Exhale, we side bend it to the right. Looking up if you can. And coming back. Changing arms. And with your next exhale, side bending to the opposite side, looking up if you can. Coming back on the inhale to center, finishing that inhalation and taking the pause actually to bring the other arm. Beautiful. From there, we went into an extended all four. So extend your arm, but find your neutral pose. On the inhale, lengthening the spine, creating space between the vertebrae. Into the cow pose. To the cat. On the exhale, tucking the tailbone, rounding up, and allowing the head to gently drop, coming back to neutral. Beautiful. From there, we added an up dog. So watch out your shoulders, okay? Don't allow the shoulder to hug the ear. And then we went back again. And from there, if you remember, either a forearm down to nose, chin, chest was one possibility. The other possibility was just to come into a sphinx there and hold out. Okay. The other possibility is that nose, chin, chest. Wherever you land. So if you're in a sphinx, stay in a sphinx. In the other two options, you inhale into a cobra, remembering that your arms aren't pushing the floor. It's not this. It's the power of your back, of your core, of your breath that has you moving up. On the exhale, pushing yourself back onto all four. This way is a straightforward way. Okay? Reversing the nose, chin, chest would be the other one. Good. Wherever you are here is good. I have talked so much that I can't remember what comes after. Anyway, so we're here and we're going to curl the toes. No, that's it, I remember. And then we've actually seated down into an extended puppy, tip of the finger, forehead onto the floor. From the extended puppy, half upward salute. And down, back to the child pose with the hand on your heel and looking towards your belly button. And off we go again. Inhaling. Exhaling. Dropping the right arm, circling the right arm down. Inhaling, reach with your left hand to the sky. Exhaling, side bending. Inhaling back. And before exhaling, circling, alternating your arm. Exhaling, side bending to the left. Inhaling, coming back and bringing the left arm. Good. From there, extended all four. Choose the version that you want. So for the moment, up dog and come back. Let's do the cat cow because we haven't done it. Neutral and then go into the cow. Exhale, going into the cat. And then moving into the sphinx or the nose, chin, chest. Baby cobra. And bringing yourself back. Good. Inhale and on the exhale, sitting into an extended puppy pose, tip of the fingers. Inhale, come up, half upward salute. Exhale, down into the child pose. And let's get out again. Exhale down, inhale, reach, exhale, side bend. Inhale, come back, and then changing, only exhale your arm. Inhale, reach, exhale, side bend. Looking up, inhale, coming back to center, both arms together. So let's have the right order here, if there is one. Extended puppy table, neutral. Inhale into the cow. Exhale into the cat. With your next inhale, back to neutral. With your next exhale, pubic bone to the mat, up dog. Super. Inhale back to reverse table. And then no string chest or strings pose. No string chest is followed by cobra. And then in both occasions after, you will just bring yourself back to all four. On your next exhale, traveling to extended puppy pose. Inhaling, circling up, looking up into the half upward salute. Exhaling, hands on your heel into balasana. So let's have this one twice without any verbal cueing. Silence. Let's get going. Neutral to the cow, to the cat, to neutral. And when you're finishing up this cycle, another one in silence as well. You can even close your eyes and travel more inward, feeling, sensing those waves. Those spiral, those circles. Beautiful. So we're going to keep with it, but I will be modifying, going back to our version 2. I've added the extension at the end of that moving meditation. The beginning is the same. We're going into our puppy, our up dog, neutral, your version down, beautiful. Let's go into our extended puppy. Bring it up onto all four. Aligning your knee and your hips, your hands with your shoulder this time. Curling the toes. Inhale up over the knee and push into a dog. And come back down. Over, over, and push back to downward dog. Last one. Over. And stay in the dog, downward dog there. If you need to walk the dog, do so by planting one heel at a time to the mat, or at least going towards it. Okay, we're going to pick up our left leg and gently travel forward on the exhale and pushing back on the inhale. And 2, and 3. And dropping that leg on your next exhale, picking up the opposite leg on your inhale. And exhaling forward. And pushing back. 2, and 3. With your next exhale, dropping that foot back down. Take a big inhale on your dog and exhaling back down on your knees. Inhale into the half upward salute. Going back down to where we started in child pose. Good. Take a breath or two to recover. And then let's do that again. Extended table. Into your cow, from your cow into your cat. To neutral. In your own time. Exhaling into your up dog. Inhaling back in neutral all four. Going down the version of your choice. And on the exhale, pushing yourself back to all four. Good. We're going to go into the extended puppy. Inhale back to all four. And take the opportunity to have a regular table. Curl up the toes, over the knee, and push to dog. And coming back, over, exhaling, pushing back to dog. Last one. Pushing back to dog on your exhale. Take a breath here if you need to. And then with your next inhale, left leg rises, lift. Exhale, moving forward and pushing back. And 2. And back. And 3. And back. And just swapping leg. With your next inhale, right leg lift and forward. This is quite demanding. So if you don't want to move forward, you can just stay with your three-legged. Beautiful. On the exhale, push back. Take one breath here. And with your next exhale, moving back to all four. Inhaling in your half upward salute. And exhaling into the dog. Beautiful. Coming back to center. And let's add on just a little bit of meat at the start, okay? So do look if you want. It's going to be very brief, but it's to make a hip opening ultimately. So we start exactly the same way. We're in child pose. We inhale up in half upward salute. And as we do, we open the gate. And we side bend. We inhale back. And we close the gate. Go back down. And let's repeat this. Inhale up. Half upward salute. Opening the gate on the other side. Exhaling down. Closing the gate. Going back down to child pose. And from there, we can begin what we were doing before. That's our third half upward salute. And this time only the arms move. We've opened the gates. And coming back. And changing. And exhaling. We won't go any further. We're going to more, it's more important to practice the new part and see how it feels, how it resonates with you, if it's a part that you would be interested in maintaining or not in your practice. Okay, so let's go down. Child pose. And inhaling up. On the exhale, opening up the gate. Inhale, reach. Exhale, side bend. Inhale, come back to the center. Exhale, close the gate and go down on the exhale as well. Inhaling, reach. Then we open the gate on the opposite side. With our next inhale, we reach. Our next exhale, we side bend. Inhale back to center. And we close the gate here on our inhale as well. So we exhale fully down and begin our phase one. Inhaling up, exhaling down with the right arm, reach with the left. And I think you start knowing this one. So don't be afraid of the sequence or the sequential demand, because that's made up. Even if you don't do it, it's okay, really. I made it, I make mistakes all the time when I do those things. Regular all four, we're starting our stage 2. Curling the toes, hovering, and pushing to down. And stay into your dog with your after your third movement. You can take a breath here, in and out, before sending your inhale up, left leg, and on the exhale, moving forward. And with your next exhale, changing, dropping that leg. Your next inhale, picking up the leg, and keep going. Dropping that leg, inhale into your dog, exhaling onto all four, inhaling into the half upward salute, and finishing with your child pose. Releasing. You can stay in a child pose. You can come and sit in your heel for a quick recovery. And the scan, body scan, energy scan, emotional scan, mental scan, what's going good, what is not, what's tricky, and appease yourself with the breath. Okay, I'm aware that time is ticking. We started late, so let's do one more, and then we finish in Makrasan, the crocodile pose, and I'll turn off the recording. So starting with the new part, which is the gate opening. Inhaling, up. Exhaling, opening the right gate. Inhaling, reach. Exhaling, side bending. And back to center when it's time to breathe in. And closing the gate, going down. And inhale, lift. Exhale, opening the gate. Inhale, reach, lengthen that spine, create space before side bending to the left. Inhale, back to center and close the gate. Exhale down. Last upward salute, beginning phase 1. Remembering to close your eyes when possible and to unclench the teeth. Extend it all four. Okay. Cow to cat to neutral to the upward dog. To going down or to go to your sphinx, up to you. Beautiful. Going into your extended puppy and inhaling back into the upward salute. Going to regular all four. Good. Curling the toes with your inhale, lift, exhale, push, and dropping into lift, into the hover, exhale, push, inhale, lift, exhale, push, and stay there, holding that pose for a little while, maybe a full cycle of breath, and then inhaling, left leg lift, exhale, moving forward, going with your own rhythm. And if 3 is too much, do whatever is accessible. Good. That's our last one. Dropping that foot, resting in the full pose, in the full dog. Before going back towards hovering the knees, dropping them onto the floor in all four. Half upward salute. And finishing with our child pose. And then from there, sliding forward onto your belly, hands on top of one another, forehead on top of your head. Your toes, if possible, it's not possible for everyone, have the toes pointing outwards. You know, for some of us, it's difficult to do that. So if it is difficult, don't do it. And then breathe and release. You may want to stay in the pose. You may want to step out of the pose. That's okay. Despite the pace, this is quite a demanding, workout, really. So really feel and sense the demand that the body had to undergo to be able to bring you through that meditation. Going to turn off the recording. And of course, wishing you to practice with gratitude in those kind of movements.